The Supreme Court has until tonight to weigh in on a commonly used abortion pill as the country awaits a decision.
Plus, a new bill could have drivers paying big bucks for reckless driving.
And tomorrow is Earth Day. We'll take a closer look at how the state of Wisconsin is working to protect our planet. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. According to the Department of Transportation, more than 2,000 people are injured in reckless driving incidents in Wisconsin every year.
Reckless driving also accounts for more than 100 deaths in the state.
And people could be on the hook for a lot more money if caught driving recklessly under a bipartisan measure clearing the Senate.
Our Nicole Herzog talked to one of the senators who sponsored the bill, plus the Wisconsin Safety Council, to find out what this could mean for those getting behind the wheel.
The Wisconsin State Senate is hitting the brakes when it comes to reckless driving in the state.
Reckless driving is a growing problem. And in fact, in Milwaukee, it's terrible. This bill is to hope to begin to fix that.
If signed into law, the measure would double the current penalties for reckless driving. Right now, a first reckless driving offense costs $25 to $200. That would now increase from $50 to $400.
This is nothing compared to the loss that they will incur when something like this happens.
The bill also increases jail time for reckless drivers who cause, quote, great bodily harm from 3.5 years to 6 years. Aaron Hubner with the Wisconsin Safety Council says distracted driving is on the rise. And as cars are getting faster, that only increases the harm caused by reckless driving.
We have quite a bit more distracted drivers than we usually have. As time goes on, that's not a trend that's going to change anytime soon.
The legislation would affect all drivers in Wisconsin, but it's specifically aimed at targeting the problem in Milwaukee. Last year, Milwaukee saw a 32% increase in reckless driving citations from 2021.
You only get one chance to do it really wrong. It takes, at 60 plus miles an hour, it takes no time to have a life-altering event.
That bill will now go to Governor Evers' desk, but it's an issue he's shown he's cared about with past legislation. In Madison, Nicole Herzog, News 3 Now.
Let's get a check at your weekend forecast now. Julian Seawright is out on the weather patio. Hi, Julian.
Well, it's not going to feel a lot like April as we get into our weekend and even welcoming in Earth Day. It's actually going to be a bit chillier, but at least for today, we get to have those temperatures that are rather into the 50s for the rest of our afternoon, heading into our evening hours a little while longer. Cloud cover has taken over much of southern Wisconsin, but what we're watching for is not really what's happening as of right now for us here in Dane County, but what's going to start to develop over the next several hours. We could see a little small burst of some showers just moving their way through some isolated parts of southern Wisconsin over the next 3 hours, but that's going to mainly be clear as we get into the rest of tonight. Heading into our Saturday mornings, where we're going to be watching for more developments of potentially not just showers, but even some snow. We'll talk about that in a moment, but current temperatures right now, a bit on the chilly side. Upper 40s throughout much of southern Wisconsin, around 54 degrees for Janesville and for Watertown. But as we take a look around Dane County, upper 40s is what we're mainly looking at in south from the southeastern side between Stoughton and Edgerton, which are into the lower 50s. Now moving into the other real thing that's really just changed for us in the last 24 hours. We've gotten dramatically colder over the last 24 hours. Yesterday, of course, we had severe weather and that warming air that had just moved in. We were looking at temperatures that were into the upper 60s and even near the 70-degree mark by the time we were at our 5 p.m. commute. But outside of that, things are much different for us right now. It's breezy, and those gusts are still raging throughout much of southern Wisconsin into the lower 20s. We're looking for those to stick around for us throughout the rest of tonight, heading into our weekend, where we have more breezy conditions for us and are going to be looking at some mixtures of not just rain, but even some snow showers early into our Saturday morning and start to change to that rain as temperatures start to warm as we get into our Saturday afternoon. We'll be planning that out in a few moments. Until then, let's go ahead and send it back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thanks. New today, former Badgers star wide receiver Quintez Cephas has been released by the Detroit Lions.
Sports director Zach Hanley is here now with the details. Zach?
Yeah, Cephas was released by the Lions after he was suspended indefinitely by the NFL for betting on games played last year. He'll be suspended at least through the entire 2023 season. The league's gambling policy bans anyone in the NFL from engaging in any form of gambling in any team or league facility or venue. including practice facilities. The former Badger wideout was selected in the 5th round by the Lions in the 2020 draft. In 3 seasons in Detroit, he's caught 37 passes for 568 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Zach, thank you. Today, the DHS launched a new tool to find out how many children are getting lead poisoning in your area. It's called the Wisconsin Childhood Lead Poisoning Data Explorer. The interactive map shows childhood lead poisoning data for Wisconsin children under age 6. The Department of Housing and Urban Development estimates that 30% of all households in the Midwest have a significant lead-based hazard. To check out the new dashboard, visit the website at the bottom of your screen.
Tomorrow is Drug Take-Back Day across Wisconsin, a day where households are encouraged to turn in any expired or unwanted medications. Its goal is to provide a safe, convenient, and responsible means of disposing prescription medicines. Safe Communities is hosting the initiative along with state and local officials. In the Madison area, you can drop off the drugs at Elver Park, Warner Park, or Mount Zion Baptist Church between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. tomorrow.
There's been studies showing that like other ways of disposal, people can either scavenge them out of the trash, children can get their hands on them in some shape or form. It's just really a great way to, anything you need unused, it's just a safe way to get rid of it.
Now, last year, Wisconsin turned in more drugs than any other state. For more information and a list of those drop-off locations, you can look for this story at channel3000.com. A couple in Jefferson County is reeling with the loss of 2 of their loved ones, dead just days apart. Today, they're still trying to make sense of what happened.
They just had to be together. Their love was so strong that it had to be. She couldn't be without him, and he couldn't be without her.
Between the two, Sarah and Louis Nowak leave behind 6 children dealing with one tragedy after the next. Tonight at 6, Talia Mohadin shares how they're finding the strength to keep going and what you can do to help.
The nation is waiting for the Supreme Court to make a ruling on a commonly used abortion pill. The court has until midnight tonight to decide. Earlier this month, Judge Matthew Kaczmarek blocked the FDA's approval of mifepristone, putting one of 2 drugs used in medical abortions from the market. An appeals court later voted the FDA's approval of the pill should stand, but imposed tighter rules on how the drug is prescribed and dispensed.
The ruling was devoid of science. It appears clear to me that it's part and parcel of a hard-right effort to ban access to abortion nationwide, following the reversal of Roe versus Wade, which has left this issue to the states.
The White House says it is prepared to continue to fight for abortion rights, no matter how the justices rule. Democrats are also waging a battle in Congress trying to make access to abortion the law of the land, but they've made little headway. The issue is already front and center for many heading into the 2024 campaign.
Now to Kentucky, where police have revealed new details about the mass shooter at a bank earlier this month. Authorities have not yet released a motive for the April 10th shooting, but they say the gunman left extensive notes revealing part of his motivation. They indicated he wanted to show how easy it was for a mentally ill person to buy a gun. The gunman purchased an AR-15 style rifle 7 days before that shooting. He killed 5 of his co-workers before he was shot and killed by police. Meanwhile, the man accused of leaking classified Pentagon documents is set to appear in court for a detention hearing next week. 21-year-old Jack Teixeira is accused of posting the documents on the social media site Discord. The detention hearing was originally scheduled for earlier this week, but was postponed at the last minute. Teixeira has not yet entered a formal plea. Coming up, Julian has our weekend forecast.
Plus, this Earth Week, we're seeing how the state of Wisconsin is working to protect our planet. We'll have details after the break. And tonight at 6, the unique technique a local dentist is using for procedures to make dental trips for young children less stressful.
Stocks eke out some gains to close the week on Wall Street on a slight up note. The Dow up 22, the Nasdaq adds 13, S&P 500 gains almost 4. And we'll be right back.
It's a brand new day.
Don't let junk get in the way.
All you have to do is point.
And you'll be back to your old self again.
Yeah!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
There's nothing better than a great night's sleep on a new Beauty Rest mattress from Steinhafels. Beauty Rest mattresses are assembled in Wisconsin, and right now, queens start at just $4.99. Or upgrade to the luxury and comfort of a Beauty Rest Black and get $200 in Steinhafels cash. Beauty Rest Black Queen mattresses start at just $49 per month when you use Steinhafels' special 72-month financing. Shop in-store or online today at steinhafels.com.
Join the circle of life at the Lion King. Experience the world's #1 musical. Don't miss your chance to see The Lion King, one of the most awe-inspiring productions ever brought to life on stage.
Coming to Overture Center May 11th through 28th. Tickets on sale now at overture.org.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living, and through no fault of their own, they're being left behind? If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Hit the ground running in the most adventurous Honda vehicles yet. Like the Pilot and Passport Trail Sport, or the Ridgeline, made more rugged with better off-road performance, and more capable with different driving modes available to conquer snow, mud, and sand. Adventure on in a Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
It's a brand new day.
Don't let junk get in the way.
All you have to do is point.
And you'll be back to your old self again.
Yeah!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
They were like peanut butter and jelly. You gotta have one, you have the other.
Tragedy strikes twice for one family. Only hours after her husband's funeral, a local woman dies. How the family is handling the double loss. Tonight at 6.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team gets results.
We're taking action for you.
Nearly 700 cases closed, more than $500,000 recovered, and we're not finished yet. When you need help, call for action only on News 3 Now.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Tomorrow is Earth Day. This year's theme is Invest in Our Planet. According to earthday.org, the idea is to encourage people to consider how a green economy could help us take better care of the planet. This year marks the 54th Earth Day celebration, which happens every April 22nd. Some ideas they suggest to celebrate include cleaning up a green space near you, finding ways to recycle and repurpose old clothes or furniture, or simply supporting green businesses like secondhand shops. A quick reminder, the Henry Vila Zoo is postponing tomorrow's Party for the Planet. Organizers are saying the weather could potentially be an issue, especially the high winds, and that's why they're making the change. The event is now scheduled for May 20th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It will be free and open to the public.
So how are we investing in our planet here in Wisconsin?
We turn to political reporter Will Keneally for more on what lawmakers are working on at the state capitol. Will?
Well, investment is an apt word there. Lawmakers are working on the state budget right now, and advocates are hoping to get environmental policy through that process.
Well, I think it's probably no surprise that we face challenges with respect to water quality. You know, the year of clean drinking water has come and gone, and we're still working toward protecting our water resources.
That was one of the main policy pushes from the governor in 2019, declaring it the year of clean water in Wisconsin. But that is top of mind for advocates this year. Clean Wisconsin is working with the Dairy Business Association to address multiple areas of water quality.
Investing in the well rehabilitation compensation program, which helps rural families rehabilitate contaminated wells, to helping farmers with conservation programs, to investing in innovative programs that help farmers reduce the amount of runoff from their fields.
These can be hard things to talk about in concise newscasts. Climate change, for example, unfolds over decades-long timescales.
Somebody's watching this, I think it's common for people to think about environmental issues and feel overwhelmed, right? Because they're so big.
But Amy Barrio says it can help to look at the small pieces. If we want to talk about water quality, how does that impact you? The water coming out of your faucet may come from a well, and that needs to be tested for contaminants. So the next step, try and secure funding so that people can test their wells, which is what Clean Wisconsin is working on.
Your state lawmaker works for you. And so it's easy to feel like, well, I just can't do anything about that. But that's something that you can do. You can reach out.
So that coalition includes environmental advocates and business interests. And Amy Barrio says that working between all of them provides interesting opportunities to help find widely supported consensus.
Will, thank you. Carbon dioxide is the primary greenhouse gas emitted by human activity. According to the EPA, in an effort to reduce humanity's carbon footprint, companies are starting to use new technology to repurpose the greenhouse gas. Air Company captures industrial CO2 before it hits the air and mixes it with hydrogen to create cleaner consumer products, including perfume and vodka. But the company's main goal is to make greener jet fuel.
You're actually able to, to create a new fuel that is removing carbon dioxide in its production process rather than polluting with putting out carbon dioxide in the production process. You're having steps in the right direction.
The government's biggest producer of greenhouse gases, the Air Force, recently struck a deal with the startup to capture and convert CO2 on site. Now, critics say the technology is expensive and not a solution. The company acknowledges there's still plenty of work to do.
Green jet fuel might seem out of reach for most Americans, but there are plenty of other easier ways to protect the planet that also work to protect your health. Eating less animal-based products, staying active, and even gardening have been proven to have positive effects on the body while reducing a person's carbon footprint. As the weather warms, experts also encourage people to take advantage of the resources around them, like taking a walk to the local farmers market.
This helps improve the carbon footprint by reducing the transportation carbon footprint of the food, and also preserves nutrients in the food since it's fresh, and it supports local businesses.
With the Madison Farmers Market making its return last Saturday, there will be plenty of opportunities throughout the next few months to support small businesses, to buy clean produce, and to get some exercise all at once. But you might need a sweatshirt if you're going to the farmers market in the morning. Julian Seawright is here. Chilly weekend on the way, Julian.
That's right, a chilly weekend. That's a very fall resemblance of us as we continue throughout the rest of our Friday evening, heading into our Saturday. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Getting to what we're going to be seeing for us heading into the weekend are three things we're going to need to know. It's going to be chilly, and it's also going to be breezy. We are going to be seeing those temperatures fall into the middle 40s and hang there throughout the rest of this weekend. On top of it, those winds that were rather windy for today are still going to be rather breezy throughout the course of this weekend as well. We do have opportunities to see some showers that will be not just rain, but even some snow. Now, it's not looking to accumulate much as we get into our Saturday morning, but we could still see on the grassy areas just a little bit of a dusting as we get into the rest of our day before it transitions into more rainfall. So let's go ahead and talk about what else is on tap for us for the rest of our forecast. Well, we are going to be watching for moving into, as of right now, we are going to be having looks like we're having a little bit of issues with some technical stuff on our end, but what we're going to be watching for is that we do have some flood issues still for the Mississippi River as we continue throughout the rest of our evening. That's going to stick around until about April 28th, but then one other thing we're going to be watching for is that the temperatures themselves will be within the 40s for the weekend, and we are going to be looking at the timing in terms of us seeing any kind of shower activity. There we go. We're getting a little bit more of our technical issues squared away. So again, for the Mississippi rivers, we're having the flood issues, flood warning in effect until April 28th. Outside of that, though, we're not looking for much more in terms of rainfall that's going to be adding to the flooding issues that we have. The good news is it's going to be rather dry outside of a couple of showers that aren't going to be amounting to too much throughout the course of our day. Our current setup as of right now, though, we have a bit of some snow showers starting to develop into the far northern parts of the upper Midwest. This includes parts of the Dakotas and for Minnesota, but that upper level trough is going to continue to dig into northern parts of Wisconsin and even to southern Wisconsin, which will start to bring in some shower chances for us as we continue throughout the rest of the weekend. Now, one thing we're going to be watching for is, outside of that, is when those temperatures are going to start to pick up just a bit more. Now, we are going to be seeing a bit of that transition beginning for us as we get to about our Monday, as temperatures will start to climb back into our 50s for us. But until we get there, this is just jumping all over the place. But until we get there, we're going to be seeing a bit more of that shower activity just really going to be dying out throughout the Saturday. So really the takeaway from this weekend is that you're going to need a light jacket to stick around throughout our Saturday and for our Sunday. Temperatures are going to stay within the 40s. It's going to be rather breezy. However, any kind of precipitation in itself is going to really start to clear itself out once we get into our Sunday. Now, talking about the traffic, the good news is that traffic in itself is still rather smooth along the Beltline, and things are moving rather smoothly around our 5 p.m. commute. I apologize for our technical difficulties. Hopefully that clears itself up by the time we get to the 6.
Good job, Julian. You did a good job.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Well, from the hillsides of California to the deserts of Arizona, Mother Nature is putting on quite the show. Orange, yellow, and purple wildflowers creating what's known as a super bloom, or blanketing fields and valleys, a sight so spectacular that thousands are flocking to capture it. The record amount of rain and snow that pummeled California earlier this year made conditions ripe for millions of dormant seeds to sprout. The flowers are so vibrant, some can be seen from space.
This is like once in a decade bloom that happens, and we're driving in here from San Francisco to see this place. This is just wild. I mean, it's just beautiful.
Well, they got to put measures in place to keep the tourists away from trampling it. The last big bloom was in 2019. The California State Parks Department has a live stream of a poppy reserve for you to view online to keep those flowers safe. Just go to parks.ca.gov. Coming up, it's not a bird nor a plane, so what exactly is it? Details in the Pentagon's investigation into unidentified aerial sightings when we return.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Spas, spas, spas! The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the Arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the Arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
Ashley is hosting a massive furniture and mattress blowout. Get guaranteed best offers on top mattress brands like Sealy, Beautyrest, Tempur-Pedic, and Purple. Plus free delivery in 3 days or less. Only at Wisconsin's #1 furniture and mattress store. Ashley.
Wow, this is where you work now? Figured I deserved a more inspiring space. And with home values being up, I had a lot of equity. So I got a home equity line of credit from Summit, and voila, added a home office.
Took your business to the next level.
Hey, you two have been in your place for a couple years now. Any fun plans?
Well, we just finished a refi with Summit.
Really?
And the plan is to make a bunch of great memories.
We're gonna use the savings to get a camper.
Whatever your goals, Summit Credit Union can help you use your home's equity to go get them.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again.
In 2023, iCare Medicare plan members receive $150 a month total for food, OTC products, and more when using the spending account card, plus dental and vision coverage. Rest easy. iCare is looking out for you and your health.
Get 11% off everything at Menards and update your home's flooring today. Great Lakes vinyl planks are a perfect flooring solution for any room. Check out our great selection of durable, waterproof floors that are easy to install. Great Lakes vinyl plank flooring features an attached pad for comfort and noise reduction. Pick up Defender vinyl plank flooring for just $279 a square foot after 11% rebate now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Ashley is hosting a massive inventory blowout sale. Get guaranteed lowest prices on furniture and mattresses and save even more on clearance items. Plus, low monthly payments with no money down and free delivery in 3 days or less. Only at Ashley.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
An office within the Pentagon is carefully reviewing cases of unexplained aerial sightings to monitor for threats and to find answers to reports of hundreds of mysterious events in the skies.
But is it an alien invasion or just some guy with a drone? Mike Valerio gets to the bottom of it.
The truth is out there, at least according to Sean Kirkpatrick, director of the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office.
UAP cannot remain unexamined or unaddressed.
In an appearance before a Senate Armed Services Subcommittee on Wednesday, Kirkpatrick said the U.S. government is tracking more than 650 potential cases of so-called unidentified aerial phenomena, commonly known to us as UFOs.
Of those over 650, we've prioritized about half of them to be of anomalous, interesting value.
While most of the sightings are not cause for alarm, Kirkpatrick's office played a key role in identifying the Chinese spy balloon that traversed the U.S. in February and is concerned about emerging technologies from foreign countries that could pose a threat.
They are less risk-averse at technical advancement than we are. Right? They are just willing to try things and see if it works.
But so far, Kirkpatrick says any potential threats likely only emanate from this world.
AARO has found no credible evidence thus far of extraterrestrial activity, off-world technology, or objects that defy the known laws of physics.
That doesn't mean ET doesn't exist, according to some scientists.
It's really impossible to believe that there's no other life out there.
But he's probably not able to phone home quite yet.
I think what's extremely unlikely is that it happens to be right in our vicinity, and they happen to be technologically advanced right when we are.
I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
We'll get a final check of your weekend forecast when we come back.
Ashley is hosting a massive inventory blowout sale. Get guaranteed lowest prices on furniture and mattresses and save even more on clearance items. Plus, low monthly payments with no money down and free delivery in 3 days or less. Only at Ashley.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living, and through no fault of their own, they're being left behind? If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
A supper club, a place that serves supper. We started off with a house coffee, garden salad, a potatoes au gratin, bacon wrapped scallops. Hello, little friends. Old fashioned. That's superior.
I just got the new Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra from US Cellular. With the most powerful processor yet, it can game smoother than ever. With nightography, it can take selfies in low light. Click. And with a longer battery life and US Cellular's 5G network, it can stream my favorite shows around the clock.
Amazing. Can you go back in the bag?
Yeah, it can go back into the bag.
Okay. Did you just kiss the phone?
Get the Samsung Galaxy S23 free. No trade-in needed from US Cellular.
I kissed it?
Yes.
Community is helping each other, making sure your neighbor is taken care of. At Lake Ridge Bank, community is who we are. We take pride in being a community bank, strengthening relationships and investing in the places we come from. It's why we are who we are. Lake Ridge Bank. Go far, go together.
Patio doors, patio doors.
the window guy can do patio doors. Scott the window guy can do patio doors.
We do patio doors. That's ScottTheWindowGuy.com.
Team, I need a volunteer. We need promotional products.
I'm on it. 4imprint makes promotional product success easy. For high-quality items, go to 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. Ashley is hosting a massive furniture and mattress blowout. Get guaranteed best offers on top mattress brands like Sealy, Beautyrest, Tempur-Pedic, and Purple. Plus free delivery in 3 days or less. Only at Wisconsin's #1 furniture and mattress store, Ashley.
On this Friday night, we go on the road with a story of an unlikely friendship, how 28 years of injustice created a bond that would last a lifetime. That's tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
We want to go back to Julian for a little more on the weather. Had some technical issues, and now they've been ironed out.
That's right. They're all ironed out, but let's talk about tonight's getting into the weekend. It's going to be much colder, as we're going to see those temperatures near freezing for us here in Madison and much of southern Wisconsin. The cloud cover is going to start to break up a bit, but will return heading into our Saturday. You can expect some rain and even some snow showers going into our Saturday morning for our Earth Day. But temperatures themselves, this weekend, folks, you're going to need that light jacket. It's going to be in the 40s, and it's not going to be breaking until we get into next week. Planning out how things are going to go throughout tonight and going into tomorrow. It's going to be quiet, but it will be cold. Heading into Saturday morning, we're going to start to watch developments of some light snow showers starting to roll throughout southern Wisconsin. And once we get into around the noon hour, that's when you can expect a bit of that mixture of some rain in for some snow that's going to turn all rain by the time we get into our Saturday afternoon, and will be very periodic throughout the course of our day, but start to end once we get into our Saturday nights. Looking for trace amounts of snowfall, if any, that's going to accumulate from this system, and rain less than 1/10 of an inch is really what we're going to be expecting. Now, taking a look at our 10-day forecast, starting off with the 7-day. As I mentioned, temperatures are not going to really improve until we get into Monday. The next week, we're going to be near normal with those middle 50s, and then we do have some opportunities for showers and potentially thunderstorms at the end of the week.
All right, it'll be nice to warm up a bit. Julian, thank you. We're back with more updates in 30 minutes. For News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now, of course, for the CBS Evening News.